Hello everyone and welcome to a new cosplay makeup tutorial. Today we are doing basic cosplay makeup. So this is the most kind of bare bones, basic makeup technique that I use. I use it of course for my Nobara cosplay. I use it for my Vanessa cosplay. I use it for just like a wide variety of cosplays. This is kind of just like my most basic makeup look. So I thought it would be helpful if I shared it with you guys for all of you who are maybe new to cosplay makeup, or just looking for some new tips and tricks for doing cosplay makeup. Whatever the case, this makeup tutorial is of course to help you. Before we get into it, just a couple of disclaimers. The first one is that I am not sponsored by any of the brands that you will be seeing here mentioned in this video today. These are all just brands that I really like. The second thing is that I am not a trained makeup artist. I am a cosplayer. I am mostly self-taught and taught by seeing tutorials online. So please keep that in mind while you're watching this tutorial. I am not a trained makeup artist, but I still wanted to share my makeup technique with you guys just in case you might find that helpful. So please just bear that in mind and be nice to me, please. I would really appreciate it. So all that out of the way, we are just gonna get right into it. This is my basic cosplay makeup tutorial. Let's go. All right, so I'm starting off with my base. So I have my primer, foundation, and concealer on. I look like a ghost, but bear with me. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do my highlight and my contour. So for that, I'm just gonna grab my beauty blender. I have wet my beauty blender beforehand, which is something you should always do. It makes it bigger and it makes it kind of squishier, so it blends out better. So for this, I'm using the Wet n Wild dual-ended contour stick, which I absolutely love. So it has two ends, so the first end here contours and then the second end over here highlights. So that's what I'm going to be using. So I'm going to start off with my highlight. Oh my gosh, I didn't bring a mirror. I forgot to bring a mirror. Oh my goodness. I knew I was forgetting something, but I finally have my mirror all ready to go. Okay, perfect. I personally like to do my highlight first, so I'm going to do that. So I'm going to take the highlight end of the stick and I'm going to just highlight in these various areas. So down my nose, up on my forehead, underneath my eyes, and going up over here to the brow bone. Doing that on both sides. Then my cupid's bow and my chin. And once that's all drawn on, I'm gonna take my beauty blender and just blend it out. All right, once that's blended out, I'm then gonna move on to my contour. So I'm gonna take the contour side of the stick and I'm gonna contour in these areas. So I'm gonna go down the sides of my nose to make my nose look like small and anime-y. I'm going to do my cheekbones just to give them a little bit of emphasis and hopefully make my face look thinner. I'm gonna do my jawline, and then I'm gonna go up here on the sides of my temples. And just like with my highlight, I'm just gonna take my beauty blender and blend that all really well. Make sure you're always blending your contour super, super well, because you don't wanna have non-blended contour. That's just not a good day for anyone. All right, now that's all done, I'm gonna move on to my blush. So for this, I'm using a blush palette, and out of these 4 shades, I'm going to be using this shade right here. It's kind of a subdued pink. If you're being like a younger character, you'd wanna go for something, oh, there's a hair attached to my brush. That's just awkward. If you're doing a younger character, you'd wanna go for one of these two, probably this one, and you'd wanna go really, really blushy. So if you're being somebody like Emma or Mabel, you'd wanna go for a more pink blush and just go crazy with it. If you're doing a teenage character or an adult character, you'd want to go for the more subdued pink, just so that like you have some color on the cheeks, but it's not like super, super obvious. So I'm just going to take that pink and I'm just going to put on my cheekbones. just like that. Then next I'm gonna go in with my metallic highlighter. So for this, I'm just using a white metallic highlighter and a fun little fan brush. I'm gonna put that on my cheekbones, on the tip of my nose, on my cupid's bow, on my chin, and then I'm gonna switch my brush to do my eyes as well. So I'm now using this brush here. This is just like a little eyeshadow brush, and I'm just going to take the same metallic highlighter and put it on the insides of my eyes, just to highlight the inner corners. And I'm also gonna put it on my brow bone. All right, now that we are highlighted to the heavens, it is time to do my eyeshadow. So I'm gonna first start by taking an eyeshadow primer and just putting that on my eyelids. And then I'm gonna take a neutral palette. So this is a palette that just has various shades of brown. This is what I recommend for like the most basic cosplay makeup, is just to use a neutral palette. Depending on the character, you can jazz it up and use like, you know, various colorful palettes or whatever, but for the most like basic bare bones kind of cosplay makeup, I recommend doing neutrals. So this is the Winky Lux Latte Kitten palette, which I really like because all of the shades here smell like coffee. Delicious. I got this in the US when I was visiting to go to Disneyland. I don't think Winky Lux is available in Canada, unfortunately. But if you're looking for an affordable neutral palette, ColourPop has a bunch of different options. I'll put some up on screen here that you can check out. There are also many different drugstore brands that sell neutral palettes, so you have a lot of options to work with. It's very easy to come by a neutral palette. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to take the lightest shade here. This one is called Sugar Crystal. It's a little bit metallic, which I really like. And we're gonna take that shade, so like whatever the lightest shade on your palette is, that's the one you're gonna wanna start with, and we're gonna use that for an inner eye highlight. So I'm just gonna put that on the inside of my eyelid. All right, once that's done, I'm gonna just wipe off my brush, and then I'm gonna go for the middle shade, which on this one is called Brulee. So this is just like it's not too light, it's not too dark, it's just in the middle. We're gonna take that shade and we're gonna put it on the outside of our eyelids. And while I'm doing that, I also want to kind of blend it up into the metallic highlighter that I have on my brow bone, just to make it kind of all blend together and look more finished. So basically you're blending it into the lighter shade that we put on our inner eyes, and then you're also blending it upwards into the metallic highlighter. All right, I'm happy with that. Here, I'll just zoom you guys in so you can see better. So that's what we're doing here. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our darkest shade, which on this palette is called Nutmeg. It's this one right here. As you can see, there's also a darker shade in the middle here, but that one's shimmery. We don't want a shimmery shade for this next step. We want something that's matte. So take your darkest matte shade on your palette, and next we're gonna cut the crease. So that is this area right here. It's kind of weird because then you can kind of like feel your skull underneath, which always makes me feel a little bit existential, but that's just a me thing. Anyway, we're gonna take that shade and we're going to just work it into our crease like this. And as you can see, I'm going kind of 3/4 of the way in, but I'm not going all the way into my inner eye. We don't want to mute out the inner eye highlight that we've done. So you just want to blend it into wherever you've put your middle shade. You don't want to put it all the way into the corner. So you just want to go 3/4 of the way on your eyeball, basically. And that is it for our eyeshadow. So next I'm going to go in with some liquid liner, some black liquid liner. This one is from Annabelle, which is one of my absolute favorite makeup companies. It is only available in Canada, unfortunately. But whatever liquid eyeliner you have will work. And we're just gonna do a simple little cat eye. You can do your cat eye as big or as small as you want. It really depends on the character and depends on your personal preference. I like to do kind of a medium cat eye, so nothing too big, nothing too small. And yeah, if you're new to this part might take some tries, this part might take some practice. It definitely is not something that you're gonna get on your first try, and that is totally fine. Just take your time, practice, and be patient with yourself while you're doing this. Now I have to just even them out because this one I accidentally made way bigger than I anticipated. And this one just isn't quite up to that size. There we go. Next, we're gonna do mascara. So I'm gonna be taking the Maybelline, is that upside down? No. We're gonna be taking the Maybelline Great Lash Mascara, which is the most basic mascara you can get. It's my personal favorite. It's what my mom used. It's what she passed down to me. So that's the mascara that I use. And we're just gonna do our top and bottom lids. All right, perfect. All right, next I'm gonna tight line my eyes, which basically means that I'm going to line my waterline in white. So I'm just using a white eyeliner pencil for that. I've said this in every makeup tutorial I've done, and I'm gonna say it again. If you aren't able to tight line your eyes, if it's something that's just not possible for you, because it is quite challenging, don't worry about it. It just helps everything look crisper and it helps your eyes look bigger. But again, if you aren't able to do it, totally fine skipping this step. Next thing we're gonna do is lashes. So for this, I'm using this pair from Cosmos. I get these at a local store here in Vancouver. I've tried to find a place where you can buy them online, but unfortunately I have not succeeded. So you can just use whatever lashes you like, whatever your favorite is, will totally work. These are just my personal favorites. And then I'm using my favorite eyelash glue, which is from Omomo, which is a Japanese dollar store. I find that this really cheap dollar store eyelash glue works much better than any of the expensive eyelash glues I've ever used. So this is my personal favorite, but yeah, whatever eyelash glue works for you, you can totally use. So I'm just gonna do a quick transition and then I'll be back with my lashes on. All right, there we go. So the final thing that I'm gonna do for my eye area is my eyebrows. So for this, I'm using the Benefit Foolproof Brow Powder. And I'm going to be using, see there's two shades, one is light, one is dark. I'm gonna be using the lighter shade. And I'm just going to take an angle brush, which is this brush right here. And I'm just going to brush on the powder onto my eyebrows. And then I'm going to take a spoolie, which is like the most fun word ever, and I'm just going to brush the powder through my eyebrows just to make it look more natural and more kind of blended in. There we go. The final thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do my lips. I'll zoom you guys out for this one because I don't really have to zoom you guys in for it. So for this, I am first going to go in with the ColourPop Lippy Sticks Lip Primer, and I'm just gonna prime my lips. I love this lip primer because it smells and tastes like cupcakes, which is just like the best thing ever. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put that on. There we go. Then I'm gonna take this lip color from Marcel, which is another one of my most favorite, oh, if it will focus, most favorite makeup brands. It's just a simple little pink lip color. Marcel is one of those brands that's only available in Canada. So if you're in the US or any other country, I strongly recommend checking out ColourPop. They have a whole bunch of lip colors that you can choose from, and their prices are very affordable. So I'm just going to put that on my lips, making sure that I keep my Cupid's bow, because having a nice little Cupid's bow is very important for like that cutesy anime look or cutesy cartoon look, depending on whatever character you're using this tutorial for. There we go. The only thing that's left to do is just to set the makeup. So for this, I am just going in with a neutral setting powder and putting that on a brush and just powdering it all over my face. And then finally, I'm going in with the Ben Nye Neutral Set Setting Powder, which is my favorite setting powder, and I'm just going to spritz that all over my face. And with that, we are done. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on my wig, put on my cosplay, and we will then do the final reveal. And here is the finished look with my cosplay and everything. So there you have it. That is my basic cosplay makeup tutorial. I hope you found this helpful. You can use this for a wide variety of characters. I've used it, like I said, for Nobara. I've used it for Vanessa. I use it as my base for my Elizabeth and Emma makeup. Basically, when you have like this kind of base makeup, you can then tweak it to kind of suit each character. So for example, if I'm doing like Emma, I'll add extra blush and freckles. If I'm doing Vanessa, I'll just add freckles, but I'll still do everything else the same way. So having this base is kind of something that you can take and then alter to suit a wide variety of characters. So I hope that you found this helpful. If you do end up using this makeup tutorial, please by all means tag me in your posts. I'd love to see this makeup in action. I'd love to see what you guys do with this makeup. I will have my socials linked in the description for you guys to tag me. So yeah, anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope, like I keep saying, I hope you found this helpful. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are new here and you'd like to see more videos like this, I put out new videos every Sunday and it would be awesome to have you here. So feel free to subscribe to see more. As always, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I'll see you guys all next time. But until then, Panda Faces, please be sure to take care. Bye.